Hello and welcome to episode 19. So today we're going to try to finish off, I don't want to say finish off the floor. We're going to get all the rest of the recipes we have under production. Last time we did the circuit boards to finish off the production floor 3. We came up here, we did the empty containers, containers. I can never remember which. We did these and we're making, what are we making here? I don't remember, but we did 3 different recipes here, and that was a giant nightmare. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do 3 more recipes: heavy modular frames, computers, and the modular engines. So I've got to run conveyors downstairs to get the inputs and outputs up here. It's going to be a huge nightmare, and I'm not looking forward to it, but we're going to get that done. And then we're going to come over here, and then on this one, I believe we're just going to make one more thing. Yep, adaptive control units, which will finish off what we have recipes for. So those 3 and one more. And then we've got room here for more manufacturers. This bay here, I was considering maybe putting refineries here to do my liquid biofuel. And then I've got nothing here or nothing there. So when we get some more recipes, I'll be able to add a few more things. So let's try to get this all wrapped up on episode 19. And then maybe episode 20, I can put walls on and any other little details, and the base will basically be done. We still might come back and add some more recipes. We might change some things downstairs to increase production on certain things. So there'll still be some changes to the factory, but let's try to get it quote unquote finished in the next 2 episodes. So let me go downstairs and hook all this up. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is global illumination, aka Lumen. So in Unreal Engine, which is what this game is made in, when you turn it on, when you turn on Lumen, it's got to do a bunch of calculations, right? Like the light's going to come down and hit the floor, but then it's going to bounce off the floor and it's going to hit things and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't just, there's an algorithm to it, right? And there's different algorithms, and it's kind of like choosing different filters. And the one that the devs of this game have chosen to use, it does this weird shimmering effect, and it looks like light reflected off of water. That's the best way I can describe it. Sometimes it's not that noticeable because you can't really see it on this texture here, but then here I can see it really well. And that's just because the devs chose this specific, I'm going to call it a filter. It's not what it's called. It's not called an algorithm. I don't know the technical name, but they chose this specific thing for the lighting, and it does this. And there's different ones. And somebody actually made a Reddit post where they talked about how you can change it. And it's an Unreal Engine option. So it's not like, it's not just in the, a config setting or something. It's more complicated than that to change. But you could basically go in and change it, and then it won't have that effect. I'm trying to see, like, I see it's not doing it there. I don't know. It just does it on some things, and then it doesn't do it on other things. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up and say, like, if you don't like global illumination because of that weird effect, there is the possibility you could change it on your own, which is fairly complicated, or maybe the devs at some point, because they kind of threw it in, were like, we're not supporting this. They might go back and go, okay, let's spend a little more time on this, and they might get rid of that effect, I hope. But either way, I'm still playing with it on just because I've really gotten used to how much brighter it is in here, and I really like it. So okay. Yeah, I got to deal with the nightmare now. I've got to deal with the nightmare. If these things weren't so tall, it wouldn't be so bad, but we're still, and if you didn't watch the last episode, this whole design is set up for 4 inputs and 4 outputs. And because we're doing 3 different recipes, we're doing, I think on this particular one, we're doing 4 and 3 and 3. So we're doing 10. So I've got 10 inputs where this, layout is laid out for 4. So we're having to jam a lot of stuff in. And then these are taller than they should be. So there's not room. Yeah. Anyways, go back and watch the last episode. All right, let me get this going. And just to try to show my process for this, which it's hard to show because it gets so confusing. But down there at the end, our first set of manufacturers are going to make the heavy modular frames. I need modular frames, steel pipes, encased beams, and screws. And I need to get those 4 things off of the main bus and send them down there and then go up. So I come down until I get to the first thing, which is steel pipes. So, okay, that's our first item we need. I put a splitter on and I line it up exactly with that. Then I can get my conveyor lift. Oops. Get my conveyor lift and try to get him. I think I got it. Yeah. Get this here. Right. And now we've got our steel pipes. And so I would send this all the way down and then be ready to send it up. Right. So there's our steel pipes. So then I would have to come down and find, okay, here's our next thing, screws. Now I got to be careful here because we're pulling screws off of that. And I need 240 screws a minute. So there's only 180 left on that belt. So I need to pull screws off of the next belt. And because that is using the lower one, I'm going to go for the higher one here. So then I've got to put a splitter in. Back to there. And then go up. And yeah, you can snap splitters onto belts. But I need it snapped perfectly so that a conveyor lift can come up and line up right where I need it. So I don't snap them to the belts. I do it like that because I know that's exactly where it needs to be, but it's not on the belt. I have to delete the belt and replace it because I did that, right? Like when it's on the belt, it slides on the belt. So that would connect to the belt. That's not connected to the belt, just in case you didn't know that. And then I would put my lift on to here. And now this one's got to go up one. I think it's snapped to that correctly. This gets confusing too. Yeah, and there's our screws going down. So now we've got two of our items. Now there is an issue here. These are the modular frames that are being made and they're going down that way to get on the main bus. And I actually need them to go up. I could just put a splitter on and send them up, but that would probably confuse me later because I'd be like, where are my modular frames? I wouldn't realize they were coming off here. So just for consistency, I need them to go all the way down, get on the bus, and I need to immediately take them back off and then send them here. But I also need encased beams, and I've only got one more slot. So I'm going to have to run something, maybe hang it below. Maybe I'll bring the modular frames back. What would be simpler, since those go down, would be to redo this. Add hangers here and then just move that belt down one. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So what I did was I added hangers down one and then I added this belt. So that belt is new. And then I'm going to delete that lift. And then I'm going to send it on to the bottom belt. So this is now our modular frames. This belt I'll have to delete because I'll actually need it to go back the other way. So we'll end up deleting that whole belt. Oops. And then come back down here. I don't know. I should not have jumped. Where are we at? There. And then, yeah, here we are. So that's where they go down. So I need to replace this, but I need it down. This is when the jetpack is so handy, being able to fly up and... Oh, so I need to be down there. I think that looks right. Yes. All right, so now we've got our 4 free, and I'll be able to send Well, I don't like that. Back in a minute. So the way I'm going to fix that, I snapped... You can see I've got it. That's that. So I'm going to come down here. And this is just temporary. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say where... At a certain point, you just kind of have to guess. We're going to guess that. I'm going to snap it to there so then I know it's lined up with that. Okay, now so I can see I'm quite a bit off. So I'm going to go one more. Okay, and that snapped. Now I'm going to get rid of that hanger. Okay. It will snap a certain way, but you can see like the little accordion thing here, how big that is. It's shorter there because I snapped it here. It kind of pushed it in a little bit. All right. Yeah. So then I've got to get modular frames going back. And the simplest thing to do would be to just take it off here. Because all of these go on and go, and then they go all the way around in a big circle and come back. So I could just take them off here and then put it on that belt. That's probably simpler. So we'll do that. So we've already got 2 of our things headed that way. The modular frames will be the 3rd thing headed that way. And then I just have to get encased beam. Oh, the encased beams are also right here. Yeah, so I need these 2 things up here on these 2 slots. Just a little less. Well, I could do we could do the encased beams. We'll do the encased beams on this side, and we'll do the modular frames on this side. The only other issue is, oh yeah, see, here's the other issue. Now we're down to the next set of manufacturers. I've got 3 more floor holes here. I need to get circuit boards, cables, and plastic. Cables are back that way, so that needs to go back that way, and we've already filled all 4 of our slots. Circuit boards and plastic are going to be down there, which is its own problem, because then down there somewhere is going to be some more floor holes where we've got to get motors, rubber, and smart plating. Yeah, this is when it becomes the nightmare. Is just, again, this whole design was not designed to do this. Okay, I've got my splitters on. So that's going to go there. And it's going to come up, and I think it'll go all the way to the top. It probably doesn't matter, but we're going to line him up there. Now, I could do that, and we could do a 90-degree turn. I think I can make a 90-degree turn. That's like dead center, though, isn't it? Just for looks, we're not going to do that. Okay. So same thing, but I'm going to go that way. And then here, we got to get to that one, right? I need to be one above this. That, I think. So we're going to go from here to here. And that'll be our modular frames going back. If I was going to do this design again, which I already said I wouldn't, and then this one's going to go here. I think I'll use straight brick, though. If I was going to do this design again, number 1, the ceiling should be higher. The blueprint for your dimensional depots and stuff should be shorter or something. And then ideally there should be a catwalk up along the ceiling. I don't know how many, like in each bay or something, just so that you had somewhere good to stand when you're trying to do this stuff. Because I'm constantly trying to find somewhere to stand where I can kind of see the height level. All right, so we've got our... I just want to look. Okay, well, I would have rather you done that the opposite way. I love the way that it works. Oh, I can't do it that way because, yeah. I want to start here and then go back because then it'll give me the other option. See, I got to find somewhere else to stand now. But it doesn't want to do that. I need to go from here to there. I can't see. See how complicated this gets? How quick it gets complicated? All right. So now that that conveyor is going that way, I can go from here back. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it to get in line there, not come down and then get in line here. I know it's a minor difference. And then that one is... Oof. Let me stand on something. And then that one's there. So I just need to get those 2 conveyors to go all the way back. And then right here are the 2 on the right. And so we're just going to get these 4 all the way to the end. Okay, and then I've got my 3 items down here by the 3 conveyor lifts. And then it's just a simple matter of making sure those the right way. The closest 2 become the top 2. And then 1, 2. Is that right? I think so. It can be very hard to judge the perspective. Sometimes I need to get that one in. And then those two connected. Okay. So then that is the 4 inputs up here. And then it's just a matter of that one will go there. This one could go on any of them. This one, typically I can't do it sideways, I don't think, because it won't fit in that space. Yeah, I'll figure those out. Like, those 4 just need to get onto these 4, and then that'll be the inputs for these 4. Then I need to do, and this is when this point is not hard. That's not that hard. Like, okay, we just did that. Cool. Then the hard part is down here, because I've used up all of my slots. And now I need to come down here to these 3. And now I need to get the, what is it? Circuit boards, cable, and plastic. So then 2 of these need to go that way. Well, that's fine because I'm not using these now. So I could like use 2 of these on the top to go that way. But one of them needs to go that way. And like, where does it need to go? Cable? Well, cable's right here. So that one should almost just go. Oh, but the cable's on this side. I got to pull it up there and then go up and up. Something like that. Yeah, let me get this one ready. All right, so we got the cables down there, splitting that off. And I actually brought it up into the rafters, which I've not done yet. See, that's there. And that there. And there we go. That'll be cables. Now, I'm already noticing I'm pulling cables off down there. And then I'm going to be pulling cables off here. It's actually got more on the belt right now, but as I was doing this, there were less cables on the belt than this. We might not be making enough cables. I do have more wire than I'm using, so we could have to increase that. We'll just see. Like, that's why I like my design, though. I don't have to try to, at the beginning of the factory, when we're trying to make concrete, calculate how many heavy modular frames I'm going to need and this kind of stuff. I just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And if later it's like, oh, I need more of this. Okay, we'll just make more of it. Yeah. Okay, now I got to get the other 2 down and then go that way. So this would almost work out perfect because I could bring this one down to the low one. Then I could bring this one down to the high one and I could run them both down, except that this is exactly in the way. This is on the low one, so that would hit. So I can't quite do that. So I'm kind of thinking, just since we did just run through the rafters, that one could be the high one or the low one. This one could run through the rafters because it is lined up exactly with where the hole is. I think we could do that. I don't see why not. Oh, I actually made a mistake. So I thought I was at the second set here. That's actually the third set. This is the second set. These are where we need circuit boards, cable, and plastic. So I just sent cable up and I was setting up to grab circuit boards and plastic. We can go ahead and do that. I'll just have to change the recipes upstairs. So instead of it being heavy modular frames, computers, modular engines, it's going to be heavy modular frames, modular engines, computers. I don't think it really matters that, because I really like this one because we need cables and we're almost above the cables, and then those 2 can go that way. Yeah, so I'll just switch the recipes upstairs. So I'm going to continue with what I was doing, and we'll get the circuit boards and the plastic down here. But then we got to go back to this one in the middle, and we've got to get it, motors, rubber, and smart plating, all 3 of which are down there. Yeah, that'll be the hard one. Okay, I went ahead and put in some ceiling mounts right in there. So I've got those 2 pop down, like I said. The top one's running through the rafters, and then the bottom one's in this slot. They're coming down to right there. And then right there's our plastic, and right there's our circuit boards. So I got to just jump down, throw a couple splitters on, get the lifts up, and then connect those 2. And then the middle one will be done. Or, well, what I thought was the middle one. The third one will be done. The end will be done. Okay, I've got my splitters down there. This guy is here and it's going to connect to that. You're here and going to connect to that. There goes our circuit boards in plastic. Coming down and joining the cable. And they both should be going up. Going up. And that one's going up. Okay. So that wasn't, the first one's easy. That one wasn't that bad. Just because the first one kind of stopped and then that one was able to go that way after several stops. So we had room. Yeah. So I need motors, rubber, and smart plating, which are all that way. We've used all of our slots. I could hang more below, but that means I got to get those down there. On the other one from episode 18, I did that. I'm probably going to have to do that again. Just as a way to... Well, and I probably need to go upstairs, because if I might need to move these back some. I might need to move them back some. Yeah. If I get all three of them, though, I can drop down 1, 2, 3, and we could... See, now here's the problem. I can't hang down... I can't hang down on this one. I can't, like, add that there and add another conveyor, because I'm going to hit these. That would give me 2. Well, but see, then I would hit that. Yeah. This design just is not... It's not for this. It's not for this. I could... Yeah, and you can't hang under the beam, because then you would go down and hit the pole. And you can't go over this way, because then you'd be hanging off the light. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to think about this one. Like I said, the last one's the hard one. Yeah, and see here upstairs, I talked about moving these over. Well, I can't move that one over. It would be into that. I could move, and I can't really move that one over either. I could back up. I could definitely put one here. And maybe here. Not ideal. Not ideal. That one can't be for here. Like, one of those two has to come into here. This one could easily go up, though, and then it would have more room to join in. And we only need... I didn't delete the fourth one, because the blueprint's set up for 4, and we don't need... We need 4 on those manufacturers, but... We don't need 4 here, so... I only need 3 inputs. Get rid of that. Compromises. That's just at the point. It's just where we're at here. We have compromises, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with that downstairs. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm going to do with these downstairs. I think my only viable path is going to be to go under the lights, which I was really trying to avoid doing. But I can have 3 conveyors here. I can shoot all the way down. I can make it over the depot, and then it's clear on the other side. I do not know how I'm going to get from those 3 over under these lights. And the other problem is right here, I need a conveyor to come right through here. But that technically doesn't have to be over there. It could be here and come up, and then problem is it needs to be right there, so it's going to hit that. I could maybe come over more and then bring the lift up. This is pretty crowded right here. So somehow I need to get rid of this, though. Somehow we got to bring that up differently. But then I can get down there, and then I'll be fine. So let me figure this out. All right, I cannot bring this up. It doesn't matter if I move that back as far back as I can. It's going to hit this no matter what. So I'm going to bring it up low. And I haven't connected that splitter to the belt. I'm going to bring it up low. and then it's going to go over and then get into its spot, and nothing's clipping here. So it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I don't trying to find somewhere to stand. So then I can't get back. Let me just go down here and do this. No, what are you trying to snap to? Okay, so we've moved that over. I think that's okay. You know, not what I wanted, but it's okay. All right, so I've got to add more of these now, and I can't do it like those are on this truss, but the light's there, so I've got to do these a little differently. But let me add some more of these ceiling mounts and get way down there and run a few conveyors, and then we just got to figure out this end. Okay, I've got my 3 conveyors. 1, 2, 3. This one goes down. It's going to keep going. These 2 are going to get picked up right here as I fall down. Yeah, if there was a catwalk up here, it'd be way easier. You go there. You go there. So there's our smart plating and motors headed down. And then this other one, just this one's got to go a little bit farther down to get rubber, which is right there. So I probably need a couple more brackets. And all I'm doing to get the brackets is doing that. Oops. Doing this. Where are we at? Rubber's right there? Yeah, so I probably just need that one bracket. To there. Make sure my splitter's the right way. And then I need to be where? Right here. Is that right? Looks right. Doesn't mean it is right. It looks right. Do that, and then do this. Or find somewhere to stand where I can do that. And there goes rubber. And I think that's it for the inputs. I think all the inputs should be upstairs. I still need to do the 3 outputs, but that'll be over on this side, and that'll be much easier. This actually went a little easier. Well, this actually went a lot easier than the first bay. I guess because I knew I was gonna run into a huge mess, and so I tried to figure out how to avoid it. Ooh, autosave got me there. All right, let me go upstairs. So I've got this all set up. 3 of them are going in. The 4th one's right there. I just have to connect that to that, and then that one will be good. The middle one's the one we're working on, and I already did the far one. I've got those 2 hooked up and running in. I just have to connect right there to right there, and that one will be good. And then we just have to come over here to the harder one. Oh, we didn't connect these downstairs. Yes, that's the really hard part. Oh, that's a Mark 1 lift. I don't want that. I'm doing everything as Mark 3s and then doing whatever it needs to be to the machine. I don't know why. That's just what I'm doing. I guess we'll make this one the tallest one. We'll make this one the low one. And that one there? That was a Mark 1 again. I'm not sure. I know this doesn't have as much room as I would like. I pretty much hate all of those. It's going to be that one. And I don't need these here. Like, it's for looks to hold up the thing. Let's, yeah, I'm okay with that. And then that one should be down a half. You know, compromises. We're at the point where we have to make compromises. All right. So that's there. This one's going to have to do the same thing. And then this one, I'm not going to connect it, but that one will do that. Okay. All we have to do is go back downstairs and then try to connect the 3 conveyors under the lights to those conveyor floor holes somehow. And then we got to do the 3 outputs, but that'll be super easy compared to all this. Oh, I was trying to jump up in between there. Okay, where are we at here? No, not that one. Yeah, there could totally be a catwalk in here. Here. I got to get those 3, these 3 to those 3. Do I have room to curve and go up and make it over that? I don't know. I could also redo it and get it up half a level. Let me play with this. We'll do these here, just temporarily, permanently, I'm not sure yet. We'll do... Can't tell. I'm going to do it there. I think that one's 1 notch too low. So that it's feeding into the machine now. That would work. That looks hideous right there, but that would work if I did it off of here. If instead I did it off of there. Now, how high is that? Technically, that's okay, because those are so short. If we put the steel pipes up there, that wouldn't work. I could also raise this up 1 more notch. I'm just putting that there for a second. I could also raise this up. Where were we? There? It's gonna, I wish you could do straight. Oh, see, that's better. It's got the angle over there now. Although now it's close to the concrete. Yeah, so I could definitely do that. I should be able to replicate that here. Go up high. Can I do the same here, though? Where's my other floor hole? Oh. 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 I need the rubber then to go up there. Which is a problem because we already sent a bunch of rubber up and filled that conveyor up with rubber. Okay. That'll be a problem. That'll be a problem for upstairs. So I should have done that and done this. Come on. That to here to there. Okay. And then these two. It's so hard to snap back there because I literally can't tell. That's going to get real freaking close to the light. It's actually in the light. Was that on curve? Right there. That's curve. That's default. Default looks like it maintains the, yeah. Oh, they're still clipping because they're motors and they're taller. Move back one. Let's pick a point there. Send this over level under the light and then send it up. That clip. It does not. And then I can get rid of that. But I'm actually going to do that. Get rid of this. Oh, wait. I feel like I've messed up. No, we're just on that side. We're just on this side. I put that there for no reason. And then get rid of that. You go to here, and then you go to there. And you definitely won't clip because you're shorter. Okay. Good, good. So there's motors and rubber up there on this conveyor, so that's a problem. And then I should be able to bring this guy down to here. Let me finish this off camera. This is taking longer than I expected to hook up. All right, it's it's close. It's very close, but I'm gonna have to, yeah, and this is, I can't do, I just can't do it the way I want. The light and the, yeah, it's too much in here. It, you know, compromises. All right, so those three are upstairs, so I need to go, I still need to do the three outputs, but I need to go upstairs and fix what I messed up because we've got motors and rubber on the middle conveyor. Well, it looks like, did it make any? No, because that doesn't go anywhere. There should have been quite a bit more rubber going here. Because it was this belt that was messed up. It had a bunch of rubber in front of the motors. And there's only 2 rubber in here. Unless it's... This one's got the rubber. Well, I think that's just the rubber, isn't it? I don't think that's the rubber in front of the motors. I'm very confused, as you can tell. I'm just going to go ahead and hook this up, even though there's no output, because I don't understand. I watched a whole bunch of rubber go up, and then now the rubber's on a different conveyor. And it clearly hasn't made any. I don't know. I don't know what happened. There, I swear like 20 or 30 rubber went up and then motors went up after that. And there were only 2 rubber in there. Which would make sense if it started making stuff. But, well, anyways. So that's hooked up and running. I guess we'll just hook the other ones up. Because why not? Even though there's no output hooked up. Should just have to take that to there. The Mark 1 conveyor, isn't it? And this guy, yeah, Mark 1s are fine. He doesn't need anything else. All right, so that'll get you going. That's got you going. And then this one just needs that. Maybe we can do it the other way, though. Ooh, nope. Well, we're going to do it this way. Okay, let me just stand here, make sure everything's going, and then we got to work on the outputs. Okay, we got the computers going, and it's just going to right there. There's nothing downstairs. Got the same thing going here with the whatever those are, modular engines or something. And we've got the same thing going here with the heavy modular frames. So then we've got to come down here, and I put the other two are on this line. I put this one here, and that's because down here we've got 3 free, so I can bring this one down exactly to there, and I'll run that one there. And then when we get down to the first one, it'll drop down to the top. No, it'll drop to the bottom, and then we get to the next one. So that one's there. Let's do it. This one, we have mark 3. 2. This one's going to drop to the bottom, right? Is that the bottom? That is the bottom. So you're on the bottom. And then here's the other one. And this one will drop to the top. This is a problem, though. This is a problem. Because I need to use both of these. I need that not to be. There's always something in the way. Yeah, the way I'm going to fix that is by lowering this down. And then I already lowered this down. So that should give us the space. So there's our computers popping through. These should go right over the top of that now. And then there's this. Oh. All right, so there's our 3 new items. I just need to get down. And how many slots do we have left next? Yeah, what's the next slot? So we'll be using. Yeah, I just put those. This got complicated. I had to push those way over. So it'll be these 2 and this one. 1, 2, 3. That technically leaves us 3 things left. Oh, and we still have 1 more to make. So we have 2 more things. All right, we're down here with the 3 new items. I definitely want dimensional depots for the heavy modular frames and the computers. I did not put dimensional depot in on any of the other space elevator parts, so I don't think I really need it on this one. I'll just put a storage container just so it can run and build these. So that one will probably go there. And just because this is the low belt, it should kind of go in first. So we'll just have a storage container, and the what are these modular engines can go into that and then feed that belt. And then these 2 though are going to need dimensional depots, which will be the same problem we had in the last bay where they basically both need to go here, but the pillar's there. So like one of them has to get that way, which is going to be in the way for the next bay. And the other one can go back there. Yeah. All right. One more thing to figure out. I got the computers hooked up. As you can see, that's going into the dimensional depot. So what I did on the last bay, I had this conveyor and this conveyor, and then I came over and I put 2 of them basically back to back. One going that way and one going that way. The problem is the pole's in the way, so I had to push that one to there. So computers are going over and going into that. This one is just a storage container for the modular engines. Now I've got to do 1 more dimensional depot for the heavy modular frames, and it'll be like that one goes down in that way. This will come down and go that way, and then turn around and go back on that belt. Yes, we'll be on that belt for that one, right? Yeah, because that leaves us 3, and then we're going to do 1 more. All right, let me wrap this up. All right, this should be the heavy modular frames going down, and right now I have no idea if they're going to go up to the depot or they're going to pop out on that belt. Looks like they're going up. Let me disconnect that for just a minute. I just want to see a couple go out on the belt. Assuming we didn't. want to see one go out on the belt. Come on, give me one. All right. Just want to make sure it's hooked up correctly. Now, because I broke and disconnected it, it might prefer to go down. Yeah, see, where'd that one come from? All right, so we've got... Wait. Why? I broke something there. All right, so those are there. The computers are obviously all going up to the dimensional depot. Why? I'm very confused here. Oh. We're just not. That's why. Okay. I know we're not making a lot of those, but I'm like, there should be some on the belt. No. Okay, so that's all of the outputs for those three. So that Nightmare Bay is done. So I got to do the next bay. We're getting a little long in the episode, but there's just one more recipe, and that's going to be much easier. So let me just do all of that. I kind of showed almost everything I've been doing here. So the next one, let me just come back when I'm finished with, what is it? Adaptive control units. Okay, I think I'm ready to turn this on. Now, here's the thing with the adaptive control units. I've got this set to 25% right now. It wants half a computer a minute. We're not... If I go look at the machine making the computers, it says we're making 2 a minute. We're not making 2 a minute because I'm not feeding it stuff that quick. Half a minute, that might be what we're making. That might take all of our computers. A quarter of a modular frame a minute. Okay, I think we could deal with that. 1.25 circuit boards a minute. We don't have that. All the circuit boards are already in use. And then the automating wiring is fine. So we would need to kind of backtrack and really increase our circuit boards and our computers. And the circuit boards are kind of a hold up on numerous things. We have tons. I think it's copper sheets and quick wire. And the problem is the copper sheets. Most of the copper goes to wire and cable. Only one node is going to the sheets. We're not making enough sheets. That was one of the other things. We pulled iron in a few episodes ago from over there. There's a couple impure coppers over there. I don't remember. I feel like there's another copper somewhere else. But we might need to get more copper over here just to increase circuit boards and then turn a bunch of other things up. But I'm not super worried about that right now. So we'll go ahead and connect this. But that's why I've way underclocked it, just because I don't want it to suck up all the computers and modular frames and circuit boards, because I don't need that many of these. I only need 100 to get to the next tiers. So we got this thing running and the output's already going down just to a storage container. No dimensional depot. Yep, and it's making it. So that is the last thing that is technically going to be in here. If I go up here and look at the recipes. So we're making all the ingots. We're making plates and rods and screws and reinforced plates, modular frames, copper sheets, steel pipe, steel beam, encased, industrial beam, heavy modular frames, wire cables, circuit board, quick wire, AI limiter, high-speed connector, reanimated SAM fluctuator, concrete quartz crystal, silica. We're making all of those, okay? We're not making the biomass. We're not making fabric. We're making rotors and stators and motors. And I want to say, I don't need biomass. I kind of do because I want to make liquid biofuel, but it's not a necessity. So that probably won't be in here. And the fabric, I don't really have any reason to automate fabric, although we could. Not fully automate it, but you can mostly automate it. Well, no, because there's a plastic fabric recipe, I think. Anyways, I don't think we need fabric right now. Rotor, stators, motors, computer, crystal oscillator, empty canisters. Okay, and then here's our proteins. We're not doing anything with those. And then power shards. So I do want the biomass and the biofuel and the protein and the power shards. I think I kind of want it over here in what's going to be a building and not a part of this. So at the moment, we have everything under production. And I just want to come down here and see. We got 5 unlocked. What does this give us? This gives us no new things. That gives us no new things. That gives us no new thing. Yeah, and that gives us no new things. So there are no more recipes for 5 and 6. So we could go ahead and unlock all of these. Let's see. I have all of that. I have all of, well, I don't know that I have 50 computers yet. Definitely don't have 50 modular frames, heavy modular frames. Okay, 100 modular frames, 100 computers. We don't have that yet. So after, this factory running for a while, we'll have all of those, and we're producing everything we need to unlock tiers 7 and 8. So basically, I'm going to keep that there because I don't. Circuit boards and crystal oscillators, empty containers, SAM fluctuators, high speed computer, heavy mod frame, mod engine, adaptive control units, crystal oscillators, SAM fluctuators, high speed connectors, computers, heavy mod frame. Yep. That looks bad, doesn't it? And that it's just for that. So we're done with the episode. Next time, for episode 20, I will focus on getting the walls up. It's going to take a lot of thought because I still don't know exactly what I'm doing. But next time I'll focus on getting the walls up and trying to finish the building. Although we'll still be doing work in the building and changing things and improving things. And at some point adding a few more recipes. But our biggest goal, I think, next time is going to be just a push to kind of wrap this up and finish it. I'm not including this. This is just the foundation. I want to make this into a building, and then that should be up higher. And I'm kind of hoping I could build this up high enough to actually connect with that elevator stop right there. I don't know that I can. I had to have that stop there just to make my buttons work out. But yeah, all right. So I will see you guys next time.